With these words, Pope Francis reminds us every day of our Christian brothers and sisters who are suffering in many parts of the world. This situation in recent years has drastically increased, as the head of the Portuguese headquarters of the organization Aid to the Suffering Church told us.
Tem aumentado muito, infelizmente, neste momento.
Yes, it has increased a lot. Unfortunately, right now, Christians are the most persecuted people in the world. According to the latest figures, we have about 200 million people. 200 million Christians are persecuted for their faith, and in recent years, unfortunately, we have verified that this number has grown significantly.
Daily images of the dramatic situation of persecution and suffering are coming particularly from Iraq, a country with a long history and rich tradition. The situation there is being followed closely by family members far away.
Parlando dell'Iraq, specialmente per i cristiani dell'Iraq, è una sofferenza, così in breve parole. Possiamo dire che qui è cancellata la nostra storia in Iraq.
For Christians, Iraq represents suffering. We can say that our history has been erased from Iraq. We have been in Iraq since the 1st century. I come from the Syriac Catholic Rite. My language, original to this day, is Aramaic, Jesus' language. Imagine all of the history, the tradition of that era, the 1st century, whether it is the way of believing, our faith, our language, our very ancient Christian tradition, we left it all behind. We are far away from this area, very far away. We do not know our future, and if we will return or not, and what we will find if we go back there.
Ritorniamo o no? Se ritorniamo, cosa troviamo? Mi ricordo sempre in questa situazione la frase della mia mamma. Dice sempre, va bene, hanno preso la casa, i terreni, eccetera, ma non hanno potuto prendere la...
In this situation, I always remember a phrase of my mother's. She always says, okay, they took the house, the land, and so on, but they were not able to take our Christianity. We are Christians. We continue to exist. Perhaps the Lord has put us in this situation as a test. We are wounded, but we are Christians wherever we go. And then the Lord is watching everything. We are faithful and we leave everything in God's hands, because He certainly can see everything. And He takes us by the hand in order to bring us to a place of peace. So many stories. They all have the same suffering in common, and they are also united by a common hope.
Giorno 6 agosto io ho aperto il Facebook, quel giorno vedo ci sono 3 morti.
On August 6, I opened the Facebook and I saw that there were 3 deaths in our little village, a young man and 2 children. People everywhere, everybody was fleeing. The missiles were falling. They fell on the house where these people died. But also faith. It is true that the people fled to Erbil, but they did not leave their faith behind. Today, once again, I am amazed by these people who continue to pray. They experienced all of Holy Week as they did when they were back home. It is true that those are not our churches, but we also thank those churches that have welcomed our parents, our relatives, and people who ran away. Now we are waiting for the Virgin Mary to do something, because to tell the truth, she already has. Of the people who ran away, no one was injured. It is true that those 3 people died, but that for me was the sign that people had to escape. Had that not happened, no one would have run away.
Era anche un segno di gente che dovevano scappare. Se non c'era quello di gente non scappava.
سيدنا يسوع المسيح علمنا.
Our Lord Jesus Christ taught us to love forever, and to love not only our neighbors or relatives, but also to love our enemies.
نروح لبعيد إنه نحب حتى أعدائنا.
Let's hope so. We are hopeful. I always say the Virgin Mary will do something, and so will Jesus, and they do not abandon anyone.